Alright, we are on the play with Rug Delver. This hand actually looks pretty good. Spell Snare is our only interaction right now, but I think I can live with that. Spell Snare is pretty live against just about every deck. The most notable deck you don't want Spell Snare against would be Eldrazi, but we have Delver into Goyf into potentially Mandrills if that's what we're up against. So I wouldn't even really mind that much going up against that. This looks like a turn 1 Delver hand, specifically because we're in the dark. If I knew that Delver was atrocious for some reason in this matchup, I'd probably lead on a Visions. As is, there's no need to do that. We may as well just get our threat down. I'm holding the Misty here just in case we can Delver Scry with it, and also to conceal at least some information. The opponent doesn't need to know we're playing green. If we fetch out a Breeding Pool, which is probably what we're doing here, then the opponent finds out we're on blue-green Delver, and it's really not much of a stretch to throw in the red. That's not a card I really wanted. Our opponent suspended a Search for Tomorrow as their turn 1 play. That's actually pretty good for us, I'd say. Spell Snare is fairly live against Titan Shift. It's not great for us. I think we're going to get the Visions out of our hand here. We're already under 18 life, so I don't really mind shocking. Serum Visions, hold up Spell Snare, hopefully set up Delver. Forked Bolt, that's actually not that bad. It's not great. The fact that it transforms Delver probably makes it worth it. It goes to the face. Nothing wrong with going face. Caravan Vigil. Basic land, put it into your hand. If something died this turn, put it onto the battlefield. Does Titan Shift run that? I don't think I've ever seen that card. Are we not playing against Titan Shift? They went Forest turn 1 Search for Tomorrow on Suspend, which is a Titan Shift line. They also didn't play that land they just searched up. We might be rollbacking here. Okay, or they could scoop, so our opponent is on maybe Titan Shift, some sort of ramp deck. It's entirely possible Titan Shift runs Caravan Vigil. I'm going to look into that. I think I might have seen the card once. I don't think I've ever actually seen it in play, though, which makes me really suspicious. It doesn't look like people commonly play Caravan Vigil and Titan Shift, so maybe it's just a slight variation. I think we still prepare for Titan Shift just because other ramp decks are probably just slower, which means we'll have a better time against them anyways. So how would we board against Titan Shift? We might not actually bring in the Blood Moons just because if the opponent's just playing straight up ramp, Blood Moon's going to be really bad. So we might not go that far, just in case we're being bait and switched here. Not really, but we didn't see any 2 CMC spells, but I imagine Spell Snare is going to be good. I don't know what to board in. We don't even board that much in against Titan Shift. Now I'm considering not boarding in at least half of what we bring in against Titan Shift. I might just run it back. Let's take out some burn spells at least. Those are unlikely to be fantastic. I'll bring in a Spell Snare. Maybe a 1 of Blood Moon just in case. Sure. Who knows what's going on here? Not me. We have a few lands, Delver, a couple more threats. I'm not excited about the hand. Given that we still don't really know what the opponent's on, I think I'm just going to keep it. It's also not bad. Chancellor of the Tangle. Oh! Chancellor of the Tangle, I'm 90% sure is commonly played in Charbelcher, which is probably where I've seen Caravan Vigil, given that that deck runs as few lands as it can get away with. They used the Chancellor mana to suspend a Search for Tomorrow, played a forest, and they're traversing the Ulvenwald, probably for another forest. I'm 90% sure we're going up against Charbelcher here. Well, at least we got that far. That's good. Turn 1 Delver, turn 2 Goyf. Could be worse. We're going to start off on our Delver. It's... do I even need to explain why in this hand, against what we're assuming is Charbelcher, we started on Delver? That we can cast Delver or hold up Tarfire. We could always Tarfire their face. That seems bad. I'm not expecting them to play a creature anytime soon, and even if I did, I'd probably still jam the Delver. Goblin Charbelcher confirmed. If you haven't seen the card, take a good look. 4-mana artifact, 3 and tap to activate it. Reveal cards from the top of their deck until they reveal a land card. They're thinning so that they get as far as they can without showing a land card. Ideally for them, they'll show 0 lands. Then it deals damage equal to the number of non-land cards revealed to target creature or player. So they want to show roughly 20 non-lands and then shoot us in the face. If the revealed land was a mountain, it does double that damage. And then you put them on the bottom. That's not exactly important. The cards, that is, go on the bottom. Stomping Ground is not what we wanted. I don't think we even bother bluffing that we have a counterspell. I'm pretty sure what we want to do here is go face. Sorry, not go face. I'm in burn spell mode. I'm going to shock and cast Tarmogoyf, so that soon we can go face. I want a clock. I want a very, very big clock. They can play Charbelcher now thanks to the ramp off of Search. That's not exactly a huge deal, though. It would be fantastic if we top-decked Ancient Grudge. Oh no, I didn't board in Ancient Grudge or Revelry. Okay, so we don't have many outs. That's alright, though, because Charbelcher is very different from Titan Shift, although they do run Search for Tomorrow. Ooh, Utopia Sprawl. A little extra ramp action going on here for our opponent. I don't think it's particularly relevant. I don't believe we have an out to Charbelcher resolving, which it will right now. There's always the chance that their variance-driven deck, given Charbelcher needs to not reveal lands, maybe they whiff on 1 or 2 activations, and then we just kill them in a couple turns. I'm definitely revealing that. Let's get rid of it. So far, just sorceries in the bin. We're going to be Tarfiring soon enough. I'm pretty sure I want a basic island. It doesn't look like our opponent's playing any mountains, so they won't be doing double damage with their Charbelcher. It is pretty unlikely that we survive an activation, though. Snapcaster Mage. Okay, we can eventually flash back a burn spell. We're going to swing with both. Yep. No blocks, please, and thank you. Tarfire goes face. 2 damage. Extra damage for Goyf. I think that's still just a 3-turn clock, including this one. Oh, that's so close. We need another card type in the bin to kill them out on our next turn. We also need them to reveal 14 or fewer non-lands, but that's entirely possible. Here comes the Belcher. This is exciting. I don't think anyone's ever activated a Belcher against me. We did come across someone playing Belcher once. I don't think they ever got to activate it. How many cards? 17 life. Okay, we're dead. Xmage, I guess, is lagging. In the bottom right corner here, it says we lost 17 life. Oh, they have to put the cards on the bottom of their library before the effect resolves and the game will check state-based actions, realizing that we're dead. We're just going to scoop. We don't need them to do that. That's fantastic. Let's take out Blood Moon. Blood Moon's bad here. You know what's good here? Artifact Hate. Let's board some of that in. What else do we want? Cards that counter colorless spells seem excellent. Basically, just more Artifact Hate. Huntmaster is at least somewhat interesting, just because it gains life. I don't think the life gain is going to be at all relevant here. We're not playing against Rug, Temur, Scapeshift, where they'll only do 18-ish damage to you, so you can hope to gain over that threshold. Charbelcher can do a lot of damage, so let's not go with that. EE, we can't blow up Charbelchers with. I'm not expecting creatures. Blood Moon, like we said, was bad. Sweeper's bad. Huntmaster, burn spells. Okay, we need to cut some stuff. Probably another Lightning Bolt. Maybe Traverses. Vapor Snack can go. Dismember can go. I think that's it. How good is Traverse here? How good's Spell Snare here? I don't think we even saw a 2 CMC spell. Shoal looks at least okay. I might cut Spell Snare. I'm going to look up a Charbelcher list. We may as well. Modern Charbelcher. I don't think we're going to find anything recent, so I'm just going to go to the primer on MTG Salvation. Go to the last page and see what we have. What could we theoretically even bring in? Just burn spells. None of this is relevant except burn spells because they can at least close a game. So we can cut a number of bad counters for some reach, basically. That's assuming our counters are actually that bad. Let's see. Can we get... Alright. We can't find a decent deck list or anything on it, so I think we're going to cut one snare for one bolt. Go sort of the middle of the road. Do I want the other bolt? I don't think snare is going to be good, but what if it is? Screw it. Maybe we cut shoal instead? No, let's cut snare. Is snare better than shoal in any scenario? I guess in the really late game, shoal gets better because we can hard cast it. We could always pitch something to counter some ramp, I guess. Let's do it. We are on the play again. 4 lands. Delver, Bolt, Thought Scour. We have a turn 1 threat, which is good. I'm going to mulligan. This hand's not great. We might end up with 0 lands or 0 threats. That one's not bad. We basically lost a land, traded in a threat. Mandrill's on top is fantastic. That's coming down on 2. They started off with a Chancellor, which means they're going to have 1 mana at the beginning of their first main phase. I don't want to Thought Scour yet. I think we're going to shock here, play the Bauble, use the Bauble, Thought Scour on their end step once we've drawn Hoots. So we can get a turn 2 Hoots down, hopefully with counter magic up. They might have a turn 1 Sakura Tribelder, but there's not really anything we can do about that. They are playing Sakura Tribelder, which means Spell Snare probably would have been at least decent. I can't imagine they're playing fewer than 4 of those, so I guess Spell Snare is probably better than Shoal in this matchup. Shoal doesn't strike me as being great. Most of their 1 CMC spells are just bad ramp. Maybe it's good, though. I've played against Charbelcher a grand total of 1 time, so that's not a huge deal. My experience, that is, with the deck. I suppose we could have milled them. No, we don't want to mill them. I want to mill myself. They had a land, which means Tribelder can come down immediately. They don't want to. They're going for a Search for tomorrow. And I believe they suspended a second one. Yes. They will have much mana on turn 3. We're going to Scour ourselves. Hopefully hit a 1 mana counterspell. Denial would be fantastic. Rejection's also okay. We drew another land. We also drew a Goyf, though. Revelry is in the bin. That's not the greatest. Ancient Grudge in the bin would have been fantastic. I think we might just slam the Goyf. I'm going to fetch here. Our life total is probably not super relevant. I'm sure we could use a hypergeometric calculator to find out how many lands they will how many non-lands they'll turn over on average. I really don't think it's that important. We may as well get a green source along with the red source that we wanted, because we already have 3 blue ones, so that's not a huge deal. I'm pretty sure if we don't top deck a counter spell for the Charbelcher now, or find an abrupt decay, an Ancient Grudge the turn after, or possibly a Snapcaster Mage for the Revelry, that works too, we're probably going to die imminently. We need an answer to that Charbelcher. I have to imagine they have one in hand. Then again, to be fair, they don't run that much card filtering. So we're going to know about one forest, maybe an island. I wonder why they're playing islands. Fortunately, they put a sorcery in the bin for us, so Goyf is big. Mana Leak, oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to get in. Now, we can play Mandrills and just delve away our entire graveyard. The downside to that is we lose the Revelry. The other downside is Goyf gets considerably smaller. There will only be sorceries. Then again, I'm expecting some card types in the near future. We know a lot of their hand. Maybe they don't have a Charbelcher yet. Next turn, 2 searches come off suspend. We know they have at least 1 land already in hand. That means they'll have 5 mana. Mana Leak's still great. I think we're just going to slam Mandrills. We only have the 1 red source, so we can't hasty Nux anytime soon. This does technically increase our clock by adding 1 power to our board. Mandrills takes over the Goyf's 4 power, and the Goyf goes down to 1, but not 0. 5 is mathematically superior to 1. So 5 is mathematically superior to 4 by 1. So I don't mind that play. I don't like losing the Revelry. But I guess it's not that important regardlessly. How many card types did we have? Just 3, so Delirium wasn't online yet. That makes me feel slightly better. I don't exactly like the idea of having Delirium and then getting rid of it. Then again, we're a decent ways away from Traverse out a Snapcaster Mage and then Snap Revelry. We would need 5 lands to do that in 1 turn. They play the island we knew about. Here's a Tribelder. We're not going to Mana Leak that. It's definitely making our Mana Leak worse, but I don't really just want to make them tap 3 lands. A Fabricate. That's something I would consider countering. If they have even 1 land in hand, Mana Leak gets a lot worse. So I think we're going to do that. They sack this, they get their 6th land. If they have a 7th land in hand, they can pay for Leak after casting Belcher. We also put more card types in the bin for Goyf, but that's not really relevant. They're going to chump Goyf. Or we Tarfire their Tribelder, and we get in for... That'll put a creature in the bin. They're going to sack it, of course, but I just want to make sure Goyf isn't blocked. Creature and Tribal will enter the graveyard. 4 card types. That means a 2-turn clock. 8 damage each turn. That seems okay. It's also relevant that on 7 mana they can play and activate Belcher. Not great for us, that's for sure. I wonder if we bother playing this island. What could we draw that makes me want to have it in play? If we draw another land, which is basically the only time we get punished for not playing this one, we still only have Nux. So I don't think we're going to bother playing it. We may as well just keep it in hand. Here's the Belcher. We know one card in their hand, the Chancellor. It's entirely possible they have the land they need to activate this. What do we got? Are they passing the turn? It looks like they're passing the turn. They didn't have the land. Okay. Did we just win? Ceremonious Rejection comes down this turn to spite us. That's pretty funny. Well, we're gonna attack with everything, and we're going to see if we win. They may have some sort of interaction. Haze of Pollen, they just fogged us. And we can't counter that with a Ceremonious Rejection. I'm pretty sure we just lost. There is a chance they only reveal 14 non-lands, but I don't think it's a good one. They do have 6 lands out already, and I don't think they play many. This is exciting. Are we just going to get shot dead? Charbelcher is being activated. If we had another... No, having another red source doesn't help us. Getting Nux down a turn sooner doesn't do anything. We only lost 3 life. We only lost 3 life. They revealed Ancient Stirrings, Haze of Pollen, Search for Tomorrow, and then a Forest. They're going to sort those out on the bottom. Hopefully Ceremonious Rejection is somehow relevant. We still know they have a Chancellor of the Tangle. Ooh, 6/7 Vigilance Reach is pretty good against us. They might want to consider just casting that. They scooped. I guess they didn't have another Fog effect. That's pretty great. Yeah, I guess that's just what happens when you use variance win cons. Anyways, hopefully you all enjoyed that video. I thought that was a pretty funny ending. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.